I just realized I look really high, but I'm not. I just had 2 sandwiches, so maybe that's why. I'm really happy. Hey, what's up, you guys? So, yes, I have another story time for you, and this has to be my favorite story of all time. I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I did this more than once. But, you know, I do stupid shit. So this is a story about the first time that I was a huge fucking asshole to a human being that I didn't know. So, yeah. Let's get into the story. When I turned 21, a lot of shit happened. You guys already know. But for some reason, and you guys know the reason, I just don't want to keep talking about it in every single fucking video, I became a hoe, you know? Why not? Shit happens, life happens, and sometimes you just gotta let it all out. I had just turned 21, I wanted to go out and drink, I wanted to go out and have fun with my friends, find guys to hook up with, you know, girls to hook up with. I did not care, I had no preference. You know, sadly it was just men, but whatever. Still waiting for that one hot lesbian to, you know, conquer my body. Probably never gonna happen, but I have my hopes up. So, my friend and I had this, like, tradition thing that on Thursdays we would go to this bar that's, you know, in my town. It's called the Voo. And, well, actually, it's not called the Voo anymore, but it was called the Voo at the time. And we used to go every Thursday, get our drink on, go back to my place, and just go to sleep, you know? Maybe watch Aristocats. I just love old Disney. Honestly, it's the best. So, we went to this bar, and usually this bar was, like, packed with, like, older people, or just, like, you know, people our age, but they were kind of creepy. And it ranged from, like, 22 to, like, 50. Probably. There were a lot of, like, 30-year-olds there. And, you know, we had just turned 21. We're babies. And we're still babies. But we go to this bar, and one night, it just happened to be a lot of people our age. And we're like, damn, like, this is cool. But there's this one guy that, like, really stands out. And he's wearing this, like, basketball jersey, which I'm not a fan of. But, you know, he had a cute face. And he was black. So, I'm down. So, you know, I'm eyeing this guy for a little bit from across the bar, and he's not coming over, so I'm like, alright, I'm gonna try my luck with someone else. We keep drinking, we're having fun, and my friend goes to the bathroom, and I just kind of, like, stayed at the bar, and there's these bar stools that spin, you know? Like a bar stool does. So I'm sitting at the bar, on the bar stool, and I'm sitting, like, on my legs, if that makes sense. Whatever. I'm sitting and I'm spinning like this on the bar stool because I'm a child and you can't take me anywhere. Duh. So as I'm sitting, you know, my butt's kind of like poking out, but I'm wearing a kimono over, so you can't really see my butt. You just see like this, you know, and then feet. So I'm sitting and this guy comes up to me and he taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around and it's the guy that I'd been staring at. And I was like, oh, I was like, hey, I was like, I've kind of been staring at you for a while. I don't know if you noticed. If you're coming to tell me that, you know, I'm creepy, go for it, because I totally understand. And he was like, yeah, no, I've been, like, eyeing you too. I was just coming over, you know, just to talk. And I was like, okay, I'm down. So we start talking, and he's like, yeah, so, like, a lady shouldn't be sitting like that. You made a mistake, my friend. You don't talk to me like that. You don't say a lady shouldn't do something. So I look at him and I say, a lady should do whatever the fuck she wants because, you know, she's a human being and there's human rights. And, you know, I can do whatever I want. I can sit however I want. I can look however I want. I can talk however I want. I can do whatever the fuck I want, you know, any time of any day. And there's no manual to being a lady. And he said, you know what, I'm just looking out for you. There's a lot of creepy guys here. I don't want anyone, you know, to come up to you and just start touching you. And I was like, first of all, that's sexual harassment. You know, if anyone did that to me, I would straight up just slap him or punch him in the throat or the balls. Whatever. You know, you can resist from touching a girl's ass. It's really not that difficult, so I can sit however the fuck I want. Thank you for your concern, but I'm good. And, you know, of course, he got upset and walked away, and that was that. After that, my friend and I went home, had a sleepover, whatever, and yeah. So, like, a few weeks later, when we went back, this guy was there again, but I didn't recognize him. So, my friend and I are, like, just talking, and we're at the bar, and we're drinking, and again, a lot of people our age were there, which was surprising. And we see this guy, he comes up to me and he starts talking to me and says, yeah, we met like a few weeks ago. I just want to apologize. You know, what I said was wrong and I didn't mean to be like offensive or anything. He's like, I just honestly want to look out for you because you're like a really pretty girl and I don't want to see anything bad happening to you. I know all these guys are pretty creepy, so, you know, that's it. And I was like, oh, that's the guy. So I was like, oh yeah, no, dude, it's totally okay. I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I was like, I was just like really drunk and I was in like this mood. And he says, oh yeah, okay. So we start talking and, you know, we kind of like spent like all night together at the bar and he ended up coming home with me. My friend drove home, which we advised her not to, but she did anyway. So, you know, I don't condone drive drunking. Drive drunking. I don't condone it. I don't support drunk driving. It's, you know, not okay. Don't do it. A lot of people that I've known have passed away from it. It's a very touchy subject, so just don't fucking do it. You know, don't be a fucking moron. I wouldn't want to lose any of you guys. I know most of you are like 14. Just don't do it. I also don't condone underage drinking.
Don't do it. If you do it in a safe place. But, you know, you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying, we all do. Just, you know.
Anyway, so my friend goes home and, you know, I bring this guy back to my apartment and we're, you know, hanging out, whatever. One thing leads to another. We end up telling secrets for a while, and after that, I was like, alright, you know, you gotta go. So he was saying how he was hungry, so I literally just went to my kitchen, made him a quesadilla, I put it in a plastic bag, and I was like, here you go. I was like, you know, see you next time. And he was like, what? Like, what? He was hella confused, and I was like, yeah, I was like, kinda gotta go to sleep, so see you next time. And he was like, okay. And he leaves. Yeah, so that happened. He texted me the next day and he was like, hey, it's insert name here. I'm not gonna say his name. But he said, yeah, it's me. And I was like, no. So I just didn't text him back. And then, yeah, after that, I never saw him again until a few months ago. It was like around April, I want to say. He was at a bar that my friends and I go to. A lot of older people go there and we just think it's funny to see them like grind on each other. I've actually seen my mom at that bar. I'll make a story time about that too. It's kind of awkward. So my friends and I were there and I see this guy sitting at a table by himself and he looked really familiar. So I go up to him and I was like, hey, what are you drinking? And he tells me what he's drinking. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like, can I try some? Who the fuck does that? It's gross. But, you know, he was like, yeah, sure. So I sit at his table and, you know, we're sharing a drink. And he's like, do you not remember me? And I was like, honestly, you look hella familiar, but I have no idea who you are. And he's like, you made me a quesadilla and told me to leave. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oops, my bad. So I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm sorry about that. I totally know who you are. And he's like, yeah, you never texted me back. And I was like, yeah. I was like, about that, I'm an asshole, so I'm really sorry. And he goes, yeah, he's like, after that, I kind of like just stopped going out and like, I just stayed home. He's like, this is like my first night going out in like months. I was like, oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. He's like, yeah, like you really fucked me up. I'm like not used to girls telling me to go home. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's he's like, yeah, usually, you know, I tell them to go home or I tell them that I'm leaving and they want me to stay, but you straight up just told me to leave your house after, you know, whatever happened. And I was like, yeah, I was like, honestly, that's just what I do. I'm sorry, I don't, you know, connect with people that I have sex with like that. I was like, it was just, you know, tell secrets. Fuck. Anyway, so yeah, and then after that, we actually hung out a few times, and I kind of did like him, but again, I was a little too crazy for him, and he was a little too crazy for me. I'm more of like the wild crazy, like I'll go and like do, you know, shit just for fun, and I do crazy shit just for fun and for attention, you know, but he was more of like the mental, like crazy. He didn't like that I had a lot of guy friends, because, you know, most of my friends are guys. That just, it's by default, just because most of our group is guys, so, you know, and he didn't like that. He thought that he should be the only guy that I talked to. I don't think so. And, you know, he was just a very jealous person. I'm not into that. So, yeah, you know, we kind of haven't spoken in like a few months. Thank God. I kind of dodged a bullet. Don't have one night stands, and if you do, don't make him quesadillas, because they're gonna keep coming back. You know, I'm really good at making them. I mean, I don't make them anymore because I don't eat cheese. But, you know, don't make them food, just tell them to leave, and if they don't, just pull out like a knife or something on them. Don't do that either. Call the cops if they won't leave. Yeah. So that's my story about how I made a quesadilla to kick a guy out of my house. I was just trying to be nice, okay? It feels weird to just be like, leave, you know? So I'm like, here you go, you get a souvenir. Who doesn't want to eat after telling secrets? I do. Actually, no, I don't. I kind of want to just sleep or like shower. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I love hearing you guys' stories, and I love reading you guys' comments. So thank you all so much, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!